Hey, welcome to Christian City Church. Welcome to our Connect groups. We love Connect groups. I love connecting. It's an honor to preach to you tonight and speak to you tonight. I want to talk to you about the life of Joseph. And what was so beautiful about Joseph, he had a coat, and the coat was symbolic of the Father's favor. It was a coat of many colors. It made him stand out. I'm not sure if you realize this, but when God looks at you, you wear a coat of many colors. You stand out to God. And there's favor and blessing and God's absolute admiration and love for you. You need to live like you're a chosen one. You need to live like you're a standout. But you know what I love about the story of Joseph? There were some coats he refused to wear. And one of those was when Potiphar's wife, his master's wife, tried to seduce him, tried to corner him. The Bible says she grabbed him by his coat. Well, Joseph took that coat off. He said, you know what, sweetheart? You can keep this coat. There are certain coats I believe the enemy wants you to wear. The first one I believe is a coat of a double life. A coat of being divided. As Christians, I believe that we should be really, really bad at having two lives. You know, tonight I want you to have a look at some of the different ways that we can say all the right things in church but be somebody else completely different throughout the week. David said in Psalm 86 verse 11, "Teach me your way, O Lord. I will walk in your truths. Unite my heart to fear your name." The enemy wants to divide you. He knows if he can divide you. He knows if he can split you. If he can make you bipolar. If he can get you where you're living one life at church and another life privately. Living one life to your wife but living in another life privately. Living one life amongst your work colleagues and another life privately. You have a look in the headlines. Every serial killer, when they interview the people who work with him, when they interview the neighbors, they always say stuff like, wow, he was just a really quiet person. He pretty much kept to himself. Bob was a real sweet guy, was a real care, but there was this other life. And what happened is that other life started with maybe a look at something on the internet or an inappropriate stare or some information or something that came, and it began to get fed and it began to grow. Make a decision to kill that life. Make the decision that you're only going to have one life that pleases God. Unite your heart before the Lord. Say, Lord, I'm only going to have one life. Another coat that I believe that Joseph refused to wear was the coat of offense. He could have got offended being thrown in the prison for a crime he didn't commit. All he did was right. He could have got a bad attitude towards God. He could have had a bad attitude towards his brothers. He could have held on to all kinds of vengeance and bitterness towards his brothers. But what's amazing is that when his brothers come to him, they were in fear. They said, you know, he could kill us. And Joseph said to them, listen, my brothers, am I in the place of God that I should do such a thing? What you meant for evil, God has turned around and used it for good in order to save many people. Make a decision to never wear the coat of offense. People will hurt you in church. People will let you down. I may even let you down. It's never intentional. If people hurt you intentionally, don't take it out on Jesus. You know what Jesus said? He said, blessed are those who are not offended because of me. Make a decision, you know what, because of my love for Jesus, because of my worship for Jesus, even a sacrifice of praise to Jesus, even when people hurt me, I refuse to let my heart get bitter. I refuse to let my heart get offended, because I'm going to be somebody that worships Jesus with my whole heart, and I'm not going to be somebody that gets offended. There are all kinds of coats that we should wear and coats that we shouldn't wear. Make a decision to wear the coat of your Father's favor. Make a decision to wear the coat of being faithful with what belongs to another man. Wear the coat of being a king's prisoner, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. But it's not my will, but thy will be done. But don't wear the coat of hypocrisy. Don't wear the coat of shame. Don't wear the coat of compromise. And don't wear the coat of offense. Why don't you talk about some of the different coats the enemy has tried to put on you? And tonight, spend some time praying for one another and ask each other to help take some of those coats off. I love you. Can't wait to see you in church this Sunday. It's going to be an amazing Sunday in church. Why don't you think of someone you can bring, and we're going to see lives changed and people impacted for Jesus Christ. God bless you.